You might know that the project is a 75-hour experience for men, and it is a very grueling experience. It's physically, mentally, emotionally exhausting, taxing. But with that said, I've got 10 lessons that we have. And, when we reached out to our project brotherhood, the graduates, and we were like, hey, man, what are some of the biggest lessons you've taken away as you've graduated the project? Like, literally hundreds of lessons were shared, and we had to kind of extrapolate and condense it down to the top 10 lessons for you. So in no particular order, here we go. Lesson one of the big takeaways that these guys get from the project is, they say, hey, we learned to stop sitting on the sidelines and playing it safe. And how often are you playing it safe, sitting on the sidelines, a spectator in the sport of life, instead of getting on the field and actually getting involved? Far too often, you kick the can down the road. Next year, I'm going to do it. Next year, I'm going to get in better shape. Next year, I'm going to make more money. Next year, I'm going to go on that vacation. Next year, I'm going to learn that new language. Next year, I'm going to do this thing. And you keep kicking the can down the road, and next year becomes the following year, becomes 5 years, becomes a decade. And now you haven't learned the thing, done the thing, made the money, improved the relationship, and you realize that you were just a spectator. You were just a hamster on this wheel. The men that have gone through the project realize very quickly, we give them this awakening that, hey, man, if you are sitting on the sidelines watching everyone playing the game of life, then what exactly are you waiting for? How long are you going to continue to play it safe? Thing number two is that they said they stopped asking for approval and for permission from others to really get after their goals and dreams. If you stay silent and you let that time go by, what you're going to allow is for resentment and regret to build up, fellas. Resentment towards the people that you felt like were stifling your goals and dreams, who weren't giving you the permission, validation, or approval. And regret for the fact that you chose to not lead yourself into chasing your goals and dreams. And I don't know about you, man, but I don't want to get to my twilight years in life and then come to find out that I've got this high level of regret and resentment towards the people around me because I just felt like they were stifling me, and regret towards the life that I failed to live because I was playing it too safe and didn't want to take risks. Hey guys, quick interruption to the Bedros Keuilian Show. I want to remind you about the Keuilian Wellness Shot. I created the Keuilian Wellness Shot because I wanted a product that was going to help you boost your immune system and fight off inflammation in your gut, in your joints, in your body, so that you are healthy, you don't get sick, and you live an awesome life. Keuilian Wellness Shots have these 9 ingredients that are going to absolutely help fight off inflammation and boost your immune system. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, ginger, turmeric, echinacea, B12, cayenne pepper, and black pepper. And every single packet is checked for heavy metals because our ingredients are top quality, and we use nothing but top quality because we cut no corners. So you can use my name, Bedros, at Keuilian.com and get 50% off your Keuilian Tribe subscription. You not only get 50% off your first order, you also get free shipping. You get a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, so that if you don't like the product for some reason, which we have yet to meet anyone who don't like the product, we will give you your money back, no questions asked, and we will shake hands and part ways as friends. And of course, $1 of every order goes to Shriners Children's Hospital, which is a hospital system that I've been helping and supporting for over 12 years. They provide medical procedures, medical services, surgeries to children whose families can't afford these procedures. So go to Keuilian.com, use code word Bedros, join the Keuilian Tribe. You get 50% off your first order and then 20% off your recurring monthly orders after that. Back to the show. Number 3, and I think this was a big one, man. You probably don't think that we talk about feelings and emotions at the project, because the videos that you see on social media is just, me and instructor Steve and all the other instructors just beating the shit out of, looking like we're just beating the shit out of all of the candidates that are going through ice bath and, hiking with logs and sandbags and truck pulls and, going to the ocean and having our Navy SEAL Will put them through this beach torture experience. And you think it's 75 hours of torture. It's not. There's a lot of classroom time at the project, and the project really, it's this. What these guys wrote, it's okay for men to speak about their feelings. This is why you need a network of strong men to lean on, right? It is important for you to have a strong network of like-minded men to lean on who are okay to talk about their feelings, but it is not okay to let your feelings and emotions run wild. Understand the difference. And how often do you walk around self-sabotaging, limiting your human experience, and having this belief system that you're not worthy because something has happened to you, right? It is okay to speak about your feelings. It is okay to share about your feelings, to journal about your feelings, and in those feelings and emotions to find that seed of superpower that you have that will be able to help you break through limiting beliefs and achieve your goals and dreams in life before you have that resentment and that regret that we talked about. Number 4, very simple. A lot of these men say they were able to build a never quit mindset, because they all of a sudden figured out that if I can go through the project for 75 hours straight, where these guys control my sleep, my actions, my food, my experience, we intentionally trigger men during the project to see how you are going to react or respond. We intentionally start picking away at your insecurities to see exactly what your reaction is going to be. And then we stop the experience and we bring light to it and we go, hey, look, where else does this show up when you start seeing red, when you get pissed off in your life? Are you that guy punching a hole through the wall in front of your wife and putting the fear of God into her? Are your kids seeing this dark side of you that you are later going to regret when you gather your emotions again? And if so, what can we do about it that you leave that negative monster here at the project in the pit? So takeaway number 5. They've learned that they can have the tough conversations and they can stop avoiding them. Think how many tough conversations you need to have in your life. Could be with your spouse, could be with a friend, could be with your kids, could be with a business partner, could be with an employee, could be with your parents, could be with your siblings. How many tough conversations should you be having that you're avoiding that's causing stress, chaos, anxiety, depression, overwhelm in your life, that's causing you to live incongruently, where you're walking on eggshells around people? How often do you want to continue? How much longer do you want to continue walking on eggshells around people because you're afraid to have those tough conversations? Because all you do is you continue to avoid them, ignore them, and bury your head in the sand. We teach these guys how to broach those conversations, how to tee those conversations up. And not every conversation that you have that's tough is going to go well, guys. Don't for a moment think that it does. But it allows you to get closure. How much longer are you going to keep waiting, kicking the can down the road, avoiding that conversation, ultimately building resentment towards them, right? Those are the things that we help you tee up. Number 6, you can't avoid the peaks and valleys in life. They say you can't avoid the peaks and valleys in life. Life will always have the ups and downs, so make peace with it. And again, I said that earlier, right? It's not that the project all of a sudden is going to make life rosy. It's not, because your life is still dynamic. You still have other people in your life that are going to influence how your life ends up looking. However, you're going to know how to handle these peaks and valleys. Understand that the peaks and valleys will show up. It's a byproduct of life. The only people that don't have peaks and valleys in their life are dead people. Dead people have no fucking peaks and valleys in their life. Their life is consistently dead. The rest of us, we're going to have peaks and valleys. It's how we see them, how we address them, whether we show gratitude about them, whether we have the tools to address them, or do you avoid the valleys until they get worse? Number 7, we heard this a lot, and you might be one of those people. Man, the project is way too expensive. It's too expensive. A lot of these guys were like, yeah, it's expensive, but money comes and goes, and so does time. Life happens fast. The project really helped us invest the money to learn how to collapse time and get what we want in life. And when you pay that money for the project, you are time collapsing because you're getting the cheat code to business and life. You're getting a brotherhood of like-minded men who have been there. They're connected to you, who you can lean on moving forward. Number 8, the big takeaway from the project. Number 8, we can't move forward if we're not willing to take responsibility for our life. And this is a huge one that a lot of these guys have pointed out after graduating the project. They go, look, I can't continue to point fingers at other people in my life. I have to take ownership. And sometimes that means over the stupidest things as well. You may have made a string of bad decisions in your life That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You can be forgiven. You can move on. You can course correct. But to move forward, you have to take responsibility. Whether it was drugs, alcohol, pornography, infidelity, I don't know what your thing was. But I do know that you are allowed grace. I do know that you have to start taking personal responsibility, and you have to take massive and extreme responsibility. You have to take ownership at the highest level, that everything starts and stops with you. This is a fundamental lesson that we teach at the project. Every fucking hour of the 75 hours, the responsibility is on you. Number 9, big takeaway number 9 from the project. You will believe whatever you tell yourself. Man, that is a big lesson we teach. But you can control the conversation. Your subconscious mind will believe everything it says. You will believe whatever you tell yourself until you learn how to control that inner conversation. That's one of the tools that we give these guys. Are you willing to take control of the inner conversation, the inner dialogue? If you are not, then odds are you have given your inner critic, what we call your bitch voice, the steering wheel. And your inner bitch has decided to take the steering wheel and control where that human goes, where you go in terms of thought, in terms of success, in terms of your health, fitness, in terms of your relationship. The conversations that you have end up controlling your thoughts. Your thoughts control your actions control your outcome. And so if you can't take that steering wheel away from the inner bitch and give it to your inner advocate who's rooting for you, who believes in you, who knows you're capable, and you have everything you need to succeed, then what's going to happen, man? So you got to be able to understand that you will believe whatever you tell yourself and that you have absolute control over the conversation. And number 10, big takeaway number 10 from the project, if you don't make yourself the priority in your life, everything you put in front of you will be lost. And that is true. You'll put so many things ahead of you that you end up actually punishing yourself. Nothing becomes a priority that should. The biggest priority should be you. And one thing I stress to the guys at the project is physical, mental, emotional, and financial state. Those are the priorities. Wait a minute, Bedros. Are you telling me it's okay to ask my spouse for what I want? Yep. Now, I don't know how your spouse will respond to that. I don't know how they will react to that. Maybe asking your spouse for what you want in terms of how you want to be spoken to, how you want to be loved and respected, how you want to be conducted with. Maybe they're not willing to meet those expectations. If they're fair expectations and they're not willing to meet them, how long are you going to keep walking on eggshells? So how will you make your relationship a priority? How will you make your money a priority? How will you make your physical, mental, emotional state a priority? Instead, you put everything else first ahead of those things, and then you wonder why you're stressed, overwhelmed, having very, very dark thoughts of doing very, very bad things. And so if you are not willing to prioritize yourself, and not a lot of people are out there telling men to prioritize yourself, the only way that I can serve my family, my businesses, my community, my country, is if I am fit mentally and physically and emotionally, if I am financially stout, and if I have support from friends and family. It's the only way I can give myself to you. I can't give myself to you, not in terms of coaching, not in terms of podcast, not in terms of show, not in terms of speaking from stage. I can't do any of that shit if I am not fulfilled physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and relationally. So if you're operating in a deficit in those categories because you keep prioritizing everybody and everything else, the project will help you reset that. The project will connect you to a brotherhood and make you realize it's okay. It's okay to make yourself a priority in your life.